Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Karen, Lavender Clothesline, and this morning I am in my living room just getting ready to head out for a thrifting video and figured I'd bring you guys along with me on my shopping day. So I am back at the Goodwill today and maybe a few other stores after that, but definitely Goodwill first. I've shown this store before, but I love going up and down the aisles. I normally go up probably 5 or 6 times down each aisle, and I'm gonna try to film and see if I can do a voiceover to share with you guys and show you what I'm finding, why I'm picking up items, why I leave items behind, and some of it can be right. Sometimes I could be missing out on big profit, but I trust my judgment. I do check comps on a few things, but for the majority I'm just filling my shopping cart because you know that's what I love to do, and I wouldn't trade this profession for any other profession in the world. I absolutely love being a shopper, and that's how I earn my living. And to prove that I am a shopper through and through, I'm going to share this little story. So years ago, when I was about 4 years old, I think it was 1964, my mom came home with 2 little dolls for my sister and I have an older sister. I also have other siblings, but they weren't born yet. And my mom came home with these little dolls called Dolly Darlings. Do you guys remember this? Those of you who are mature like I am? And these dolls each had a theme. So you would get like, one was like a beauty pageant winner, one was a teacher. I guess they were professions maybe. And the doll that my mom came home with for me, so this proves this was meant to be, was this little doll here. This little doll, her name was Beth, and she was a shopper. I'm gonna open this so you can see that some things in life are just meant to be. So here is Beth, and there is her shopping cart. Now she has groceries, so I might replace those groceries with little thrifted items, but I love Beth. Now she's not my original doll. My original one is, I think she's long gone, or maybe she's packed away. Definitely doesn't have all the little pieces in her case, but my children bought this for me years ago as a sweet present, and they found it on eBay. So life comes full circle, and yeah, just wanted to share that with you to show you some things are meant to be in life, and thank you for watching. Go out and get what's yours. Bye guys. So as you can see, I've already started a little bit. It's going to be a really good day thrifting. I can just feel it in my bones. This first item is a little plastic carousel with a wood base. I am noticing that the top is missing, and when I look at the bottom, I can see that the cover to the battery case is off. There's also a little bit of corrosion in it, so I leave it behind. I always make sure to bend down and get to the bottom shelf. Like I've said in past videos, I really feel like the bottom shelves can hold some terrific treasures. So I always make sure I wear stretchy clothing so I can go up and down a lot. This first purse is really pretty, but the inside had no marking, no branding, and I felt like the inside lining wasn't so great, so I left it behind. Here I find a really cute owl luminary candle holder, but I don't take that. This middle piece, once again, I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't know if a sand hourglass was originally in it, or if it was supposed to be a candle holder. I think it was solid brass, but that doesn't necessarily bring, you know, a high dollar item just on that fact. I think this wood box is catching my attention. I'm hoping that it's silverware inside or flatware, so I have to move a few items. When I open it, I notice that there is gold tone flatware. I do fairly well with gold tone flatware, but it has to be in very good condition, and it has to be a matching set. Here I'm also showing you a print that I threw in the cart. And here I've managed to open the chest of flatware, and I'm looking at the maker. This flatware, as you can see, was tarnished and missing some of its finish, so I left it behind. When you find a set that has a lot of different missing pieces and a lot of mismatching pieces in different patterns, I have a tendency to leave it behind. I thought these plates were interesting, but they didn't feel like they were quality. I use similar spiral bound notebooks to log or journal in all of my eBay inventory. Most times I pick mine up when they're on clearance after school has opened and I get them for 10 cents or 25 cents. But I always look to see if, I can pick up extras. I like these type of wooden or Sirocco or fake wood plaques. Here they're $3 a piece, which I felt were a little bit high. I think for the two of them, I probably could have asked between $20 and $22 plus shipping, but I didn't think the design or the color was so nice. Here I start to see a few pieces that are catching my attention. A little mirror, which I decide to put in my cart. I liked the painting technique on it, and I believe that was true vintage. This print caught my attention. I think a lot of people like to decorate with different barware items or artwork that refers to some sort of drinking or barware or something that you could put in a man cave. So I thought this was great, and I wound up putting that in my cart. These two little prints were nicely framed with some barn board, I'm gonna call it. One was of a little kitty sitting in a defunct oven. I thought that was really sweet. And the other one was just a vase of flowers. They were made in Colorado. I don't know that those will bring a high dollar item, but I thought that would appeal to many different buyers. People that have cats or people that just like to decorate in farmhouse style, so I said yes to those. Now I always proclaim I don't pick up one-offs with cups or plates. I did wind up putting this in my cart, but later when I looked at it, it had a chip, so I had to return this. I actually purchased it, not noticing the chip, and then brought it back. This bowl was interesting. I liked the rib pattern. Had no markings. It did appear to have some age, but then the inside, when I looked at it, was badly scratched, so I left that behind. Sometimes you can use a magic eraser and clean those up, but I felt I didn't want to do that for that bowl. Again, always scanning those bottom shelves. This was just a print, but this appeals to many buyers. I thought the traditional style was great. It's a famous piece of art. I don't remember what that's called. Hunting foxes, maybe, something like that. But I said yes to that little print. This next picture was really interesting. I don't believe it was any kind of original artwork, but it was a picture of a young man, handsome young man, putting a flower in a gun. But see this cardboard backing? Right there, that starts to concern me, because if something is of value, I feel like they're going to make the backing, a better quality backer board. This was a little count stitch or cross stitch. You guys can tell me what this is called. It's needlepoint, very nicely done. And the thing I love is the sweet, sayings on the back, the little presentation writing. So I took that. When the shelves get this disorganized, it's very hard to really focus in. So like I've expressed, I really divide the shelves mentally and look at them from left to right like I'm reading. Now these shelves, I would feel most of the items are fairly new because these shelves they took Christmas off of. So it doesn't really mean that everything is fresh inventory, but I think when they clear seasonal items after the holiday, I especially look at those shelves. I really liked these candle votives. They were new, as you can see, or contemporary, you know, fairly recent. And here I'm arranging them, but I didn't buy them. But I felt like I needed to straighten them up a little bit. I think if I didn't need to make money for a living, I would spend my time organizing Goodwill shelves. This was a vintage bread tray. Give us our daily bread. I almost purchased this, but I kind of have a lot of those things, a lot of trays right now, so I said no. That might have been a mistake, but it did have a little bit of damage on the handle. So that really locked in my decision. Statue, not very well done, Venus de Milo. I have sold quite a few nice ones that were museum gift shop purchases, not myself, but that I found and did very well, especially the ones made in France. I kind of liked this, but I left it behind. These tom-toms were interesting. Not very high quality. I always look at how the wood is joined, you know, because they're made with separate pieces of wood. And there is the tap test. Always have to tap things to see what they're made of. And the hide or the skin on top of that one, it is not good. Here's a little kitty cat. You know, I'm always attracted to kitty cats. I think I must have been a cat owner in a prior life because I don't think I've ever had a pet cat. But I actually wound up picking him up. I thought he was too sweet to leave behind. Trying to stay away from glassware. Put it back, Karen. My shipping department, which is me, has been crazy inundated with shipping heavy, crazy breakables, and I'm trying to let some things go, not pick up as many breakables, which is a lost cause. This little wood statue was interesting, but I left him behind. This was the middle to one of those carousel Lazy Susan dishes, but I feel like you need the whole set. A lot of times they have Lazy Susans that are wood. This is an abalone shell trinket box. I thought this was beautiful. These can bring very good money, so I did take that and put that in my cart. I liked that letter J with the hooks, but I don't have any J's in my name. This bowl was quite beautiful. Now the cracking on that, the crazing or the cracking is applied. That's not something that's original, and that was made in China, so it was a more contemporary piece. Very heavy. I left it behind. This was crazy interesting. This is a company that takes pre-owned boots and they cut the leather and they add decoration and put a glass vase in them. So I thought this was great. It has a bolo, I think, or bola is the name of that leather necklace, and that was wonderful. I picked that up. And we are on to the next aisle. I kind of wish this Goodwill would put all the artwork together. They used to have it organized like that. Sometimes I feel like I miss things because it's all on different end caps. This item I zoomed in to show you guys. This is made from a mold, but see how poorly painted that is? I always leave poorly painted pieces behind. I don't take them. This box is good. We can see that the wood is joined there, dovetail, and I really liked this box. I would have taken that canister, but it did have damage. I think I looked at that same basket last time I was here. I know what I like. I like woven baskets, but unless it's got a maker's name stamped or signed on the bottom, I leave them behind mostly. These shelves do crazy good. If you see a shelf like that in good shape, you want to pick that up. And here's a little tiny wood stool. I loved this stool. I think it's like a timeout stool, but you'd need a very tiny little child's butt to sit on that, but I said yes to that. Very nicely made. Here I'm showing Obermeyer. This is a vintage child snowsuit that I actually picked up when I was turning a corner, but I wanted to show you guys that I picked that up. Here are some brass duck bookends, and I quickly grabbed those. I don't know that those are going to bring a high dollar, depending if the market is flooded. Sometimes there'll be a lot of those, but I feel they're worth it. Thought this was interesting, but that's contemporary or mass marketed. This wooden fireman was very fun. I thought he was really sweet, and there was a maker's mark on the bottom. David somebody, I can't read it now that I'm looking at it, but I do have him listed already. His little arms swung back and forth. I kind of wish he had a wind up in the back and he would swing his arms. That would be very fun. Canisters, too heavy, too brown, too big. I don't know that those are in vogue. I'll probably be sorry that I didn't pick those up. Those will become all the rage, or maybe they already are and I don't know it. These statues, I'm zooming in on these figurines because these are copies. The little girl is to copy Hummel, and this little boy just looks scary crazy. So I left both of those behind, but I did want to show those to you. Always shaking glasses cases. You know, I love to buy eyeglasses and sunglasses. I sell quite a few of them. And we are onto the white and glass aisle. I don't find a lot of white items that I purchase. It's funny how I gravitate towards certain colors. Always the wood aisle, some green and blue, but I have to say I don't purchase a lot from the white aisle. There I was looking at the branding on the glasses. I like that hobnail design, but these are current. This little vase was sweet when I turned it over, made in Germany, so I said yes to this. That was a porcelain little bud vase. Anything in a box in good condition, where the box is in good condition and has the branding, I take a look at. That was a photo frame, but I left that, or a photo book rather, I left that behind. Magnetic poetry kit. If you find the full kit, those can bring good money. I once sold, I think, the same exact one for $45 because it was new. Again, I'm trying to ignore single mugs. I have quite the collection of single mugs, to be truthful. I might have to clear those out. Have a yard sale or something, I'm not quite sure. I look to see if Pottery Barn or Restoration Hardware sticker is on the bottom. I truthfully don't know who made this pair. I think this was Target. I kind of liked this seashell. You know, it was produced. It wasn't a natural seashell, but I'm almost sorry I didn't pick that up for my own house, but I try to stay natural with the shells I collect. Again, a photo album. I don't pick up too many of these. Garnet Hill is a really good name to pick up. If you find especially children's sheets from Garnet Hill, you want to grab those. This was a carousel horse, just a twin flat sheet. And I'm expecting that's going to bring close to the $40 mark. I've sold quite a few Garnet Hill really cute novelty print sheets, children's sheets, and have done really well with those. Always scanning, always seeing what I'm looking at. This next statue, I think, was cement. I'm not sure what that was made out of. It was a very heavy, I'm gonna say resin, like a cement, I don't know. It almost seemed like stone or marble. But unfortunately, I really felt she was too heavy, and I didn't think she would do well on local markets, like Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. So sadly, I left her behind. So I guess this is the beige aisle, beige and wood, I'm not quite sure. And this is the same aisle with the carousel horse wind up. Not sure what we call that. These statues are paper mache, a little scary in my opinion. I never pick those up. Never say never, but I usually don't pick those up. This duck was unique. And as you can see, we are onto the yellow aisle. That was a box of baby books. I don't know if that was a mistake on my part not to pick that up. I probably could have got $15 for that, but I'm really trying to keep my sell-through price a little bit higher. I wasn't sure what that is. Is that a paperweight, guys? Leave a comment down below. It was stamped New York. I don't know if that was from like the World's Fair or what that was, and I wound up leaving that behind. So, interesting. But if you know what that last item was, would you leave a comment? This little glass elephant had a chip in his ear. I believe those glasses were prescription from Costco. Look how quickly I grabbed this. I sell a lot of wooden bowls. So as long as they're in good condition, I always say yes to salad, a salad set in wood. I pick up the monkey pod ones, you know. Here is a bag of dog figurines. Most of these are poodles. Super cute. Absolutely, yes. In the cart they went. I was pretty pleased with this, and as you can see, I paid $4. This picture was interesting. This was a print of a carnival ride. This would be really cute to decorate a child's room or even an office, but I said no to that. I believe it was just a mass-produced print. I could be wrong about that. I looked at this heavy glass bowl. It could have been Murano. I didn't see a sticker or a signature, you know, no kind of, but very pretty. But I didn't want to have to ship that. I realized that's going to have to go priority in a box larger than the cubic foot. So it gets quite costly. And my buyer always pays shipping, so I'm always conscious of how much shipping a buyer is going to have to pay. This bowl was interesting, but you can see it's, you know, modern. Again, more of the figurines that I wanted to show you guys. Horrifically painted. I don't know if those were originally produced like that. I mean, they could turn out to be something terribly valuable and I'm leaving them behind, but I thought, oh, that's not good. These kids are scary. We left those behind. This little pig wearing a tutu was cute, but I didn't feel like he had enough profit built into him. Poor little piggy. Again, almost like a hobnail design, but as you can see, this was Opal House. I don't pick up any Opal House, not that I know of, not on purpose. I actually liked this little fairy. I was thinking of putting her on my desk, but my desk is so crowded with everything else, my Dymo printer and my, all the things, so I left it behind. There's that strawberry candle still there. I thought that was pretty. That would probably wind up being half price. But I said no, I'm kind of over Christmas. When I have limited time, I go down the wood aisle, the green aisle, and the blue aisle first. The aisles that I go down last are probably red, black. Black will have a lot of electronics, which I don't do a lot of electronics. Here I'm feeling the comb, do we say, of that rooster. He had chips and he was made in China. Quite pretty though. I thought it was well done for a China piece. I always have a strategy in my mind of how I'm going to break up a store or how I'm going to, just figure out my plan. Thought he was sweet. This teapot and teacups, Johnson Brothers, which is a bread and butter brand. They have antiques. They are an older brand. I think they started in the 1800s. I really liked the aesthetic of this, but my reason for not picking up was that one of the cups was chipped, and I won't sell, pretty much across the board, won't sell chipped items. So it would just be a teapot and 4 teacups or coffee cups. So I said no to that. This caught my attention, but again, I don't feel like you could command a high profit. I didn't think this was very, high quality. Here is Dansk. These are candles. I did not pick them up, but I like the Dansk name for pottery, kitchenware. There are some beautiful Dansk pieces. I don't know why I keep looking at coffee mugs. I didn't realize I look at them so much. Maybe that's why I have like 60 of them. They do sell, but they're a slow seller. You're really waiting for that right buyer that wants that one cup, that one mug that speaks to them. I did not take this needlepoint. I didn't feel that great about it. It was nice. It's quite common. This was a beautiful piece. I wouldn't mind that as a cookie jar if I had it like a Tuscan kitchen, but I don't. Too heavy to ship. This I love. This is like a salt glaze, I think they call it. I could be wrong about that. You guys could let me know. But it's a wall pocket. I thought this was beautiful. I said absolutely yes and put that in my cart. I didn't know what I was looking at here. They were little ceramic or porcelain. They look like drawers, but I didn't see the dresser. So I don't know, maybe that went to like a little spice curio piece that was missing. This was Gap, a crib bumper. I stay away from baby bedding. I have sold it, but a lot of people that are decorating their baby's room, you know, they don't want pre-owned. That's my finding. This plate, I didn't know what that is. Now, naturally, that's a number. I guess you could put that in with a description. I did put that in the cart, but I wound up putting that back. Maybe that was a mistake. But again, it was a single plate, so I didn't feel like the dollar value could have been that great, you know, the profit capability. Here's some drinking glasses. They did have a little bit of wear to the paint, but how cute are these? Little like dancing frogs. So I said yes to them. Sure, I'll ship breakables. Who doesn't want to ship, how many were there? 6 frog glasses. Ugh. But look how cute this is. So cute. And like I said, a little bit of the gold paint is worn off. But I thought the frogs were in good shape, so I said yes. I'm a crazy person. When I see new wallpaper like this, where there's a good amount, and there are unopened rolls, I always take a look at this. Now these I did put in my cart and look them up later. I have sold wallpaper for hundreds of dollars when it's from a high-end company, and I don't know all the wallpaper companies, so I make sure I always look at unopened wallpaper. I never buy wallpaper that is opened. Here I'm noticing a bubble on a glass vase. It was a newer vase anyway, so I left that behind. Here is another lot, I believe, of the same donation. Now I'm starting to get a feel for that the wallpaper that I put in my cart, the green fruit, if it was from the same lot or the same store that donated, it's probably going to be a no. Here I'm looking at the black aisle. I did put something in my cart to look at, which I wound up not buying. And I'm looking at a Mary Kay tote bag, cosmetic. This is for people that sell Mary Kay. I guess it's their kit bag. Now I have sold these in the past, but I haven't really done well with these. I think they bring an average of like between 20, not even $20, I don't think. So I've started to leave those behind. I think the item that I did place in the cart was a power bank for electronics, which I wound up putting back. So I don't know that I even showed that. With electronics, when they're vintage, the only ones that I really pick up are cameras. Here I'm looking at a paddle, Super Pro, and I took that. Now with rackets and paddles, I do have to look up the name. I don't know all of the names. That tapestry is still there from last time I did a haul in this store. And there's the tap test. I never realized how much I tapped things till I watched videos of myself shopping. I very much go by the feel of things, the way they sound when you tap them, the feel of material. Most of the shoes in this Goodwill are $7.47 or $7.97. There are a few exceptions, so I am really picky about what shoes I pick up. Here's a pair of Dr. Scholl's for $9.99. And I'm trying to see if the insert is original to the shoe, which it was. I always try to look underneath inserts. Here is a find. We knew we wanted these right away. These are Allen Edmonds. This and Fry are my favorite brands in men's shoes, and Fry is my favorite in women's, I'm going to say also. I also like Fly London. There are quite a few brands that I like in women's, but Allen Edmonds is my #1 for men's shoes. Beautiful quality. And I always share that if you get a chance to go into an Allen Edmonds retail store, you want to do that. Here I've just placed a vintage camera bag in the cart. It is $12.99. And it has its lenses, and it seems to be in good shape. Now, I don't know a lot about vintage cameras, so I will list this as for parts only, even if it works. But this was a great find. I also picked up these Sorel boots. And I am going down the aisle to look at more shoes. These are a pair of men's Sperry topsiders. Mostly I only pick up the leather Sperry's, but only if they're in excellent condition. Like a deck shoe or a dock shoe. For me to pay $7.50 for something, I want to get at least $35 out of it if I can. So I don't pick up a ton of shoes. This is Johnson & Murphy. And see this cotton padding underneath the tongue of the shoe? I avoid shoes that have that. That padding is very hard to get out, and I don't think selling them is the greatest idea. That's just my personal opinion. I thought these polos were quite nice, but I don't know, I wasn't feeling them. They seem to have a little bit of wear. I don't know. Canvas is hard. I'm trying to learn more about men's sneakers. Thank goodness Nike has their number inside that we can look them up. That's very helpful. I think all shoes should have that. See this clear label underneath this boot. To me, this is a big telltale sign not to pick the shoe up, that it's a cheaper made shoe. I have never seen that little clear tag, that sticky label on the sole of a shoe on a good high-end shoe. And now I'm looking at hats and scarves. The first thing I do for a man's hat, like a fedora, is look for the tagging or labeling inside. Now here, this one does have a label, but it seems very cheaply made. I could be wrong about that. I'm looking at the stitching, the feel of the felt. I look at how it's constructed. Right here, telltale sign, not good. I could be wrong about this. But when you look at the construction, it should be very finely finished, and this one is not. This one, the finishing is just, see this stitching here? That's not a good sign, so I left that one behind. Now I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm never offended with that, guys. If you have information I don't, feel free to leave a comment. I always appreciate, you guys knowing more than I do. And this last photo, I figured I'd insert. This is usually what my car looks like. This might even be a little bit on the empty side. I always make sure I buy a Jeep or a Suburban or a truck to get all of my treasure in. I love hunting for treasure, and I'm so glad that you followed along with me. Please hit the like and subscribe button so I can continue to go out into the wild and film my shopping hauls and my shopping trips to entertain you guys. I appreciate all of you, and once again, go out and get what's yours. Bye, guys.